Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. George Orwell, I think he was a genius in his time. His dystopian novel, 1984, has such fantastic prophecies and very interesting insights in politics and society, in human psychology. It's a fantastic dystopian novel. One of those expressions over there that he came up with, was who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. So that is, if you control the present, you are able to alter the past. Whatever the people during present time will learn about the past, you can alter it. So therefore, by altering the past, people that will learn about history will shape the future because they were influenced by the teachings from the past, which were altered. So, for instance, if I tell you that Russia invaded the country of Georgia in 2008, and you know that's a fact, you are influenced right now in a certain way that when I'm going to read to you this article, it's going to make sense to you. Well, because this article assumes that someone already altered your past, the knowledge from the past, so it prepared you from now and is going to alter your future opinions on the future events. So let me give an example. They say this is how they altered the past, because there's two stories, at least in every incident there's two stories. We're talking the 2008, the war between Russia and Georgia with Saakashvili. Now there is a fact that the Georgian military troops invaded, like the Russians invaded, unprovoked, they invaded Ukraine. They crossed into South Ossetia. South Ossetia is not their territory. They crossed into, so that they invaded. Then over there were some Russian peacekeeping troops. They were legally deployed over there, not like the Americans in Syria. And they were attacked by the Georgians. And then some people died from the Russian military. So the Georgian invaded another country, another territory that was not theirs. And then Russia fucked them up. Got that? Now they try to say that these guys from South Ossetia provoked Georgia, shelled some locations in Georgia. Therefore, Georgia reacted and entered with the army, invaded. Therefore, the Russians fucked them up. So now the past obviously has two stories. The Russian story is this. These guys invaded and then killed our people. We told them to back off. They said, no, we're going to take over, and we fucked them up. Now, the Georgian story, and not only that, is these guys, the separatists in the South Ossetia, shelled us and we shelled them back, and then we decided to intervene, and then Russia intervened disproportionately. So this is the story. Now, if you think that Russia, the story goes, Russia invaded. This is how they portray it. Another country Russia invaded is worried a new naval base is going to drag it into the Ukraine war. They're talking about Georgia. So according to Business Insider, right there, Russia invaded another country as it invaded Ukraine. No context. And the story goes, Russia just invaded Georgia. Well, it was not like that. So you see, they alter the past. If you go on, for instance, in Wikipedia, which I did, it says here that on August 1st, 2008, the Russian-backed South Ossetian forces started shelling Georgian villages with a sporadic response from Georgian peacekeepers in the area. The Georgians had NATO trainers over there, right? NATO. And intensifying artillery attacks by the South Ossetians, separatists broke a 1992 ceasefire agreement. Therefore, these guys intervened. Some Russian troops had illicitly crossed the Georgian-Russian border through the So they put it here on Wikipedia, which I'm old enough to know the history, or at least to know a different story about it, and don't buy that one. Why? Because why should I buy it? What is the authority of Wikipedia or of Saakashvili or the Western world? Why would I believe them? I have no reason to believe they lied before, they lie now, and they will lie in the future. So did the other guys. So, all right, you base this on facts. The story here in this Business Insider starts that the Russians invaded something else. No context, nothing. The Russian story is no, Georgia attacked South Ossetia, killed our people, and then we punched them in the nose. Now, which ones should I believe? Well, I think I'm skeptical, correct? Correct. I look at both of them and I'm trying to think about logically what's going on. Who had trainers over there? Who promised whom NATO? And who provoked whom? I mean, you can go by that as much as we can find out. My point here is that Georgia, and Armenia are the ones that will create problems in the Caucasus. And they will create problems. And as I stated it before in 5 videos in the past month or so, Armenia has to have a little regime change in a way that, not regime change, they got the weasels in place. But they want to turn into creating a problem for the Russians to benefit NATO. The French foreign minister, I think Le Cornu was over there, said he's going to give them weapons. The Armenian delegation did not go to meet the Russians, the Belarusians, that little, security club that they have over there. So they're trying to break away somehow. They're going to create problems. But as I said before, Armenia is a landlocked country, so it can't do shit because it's surrounded by Turkey, not friends, Iran, not friends, Azerbaijan, not friends, Russia, not friends, not even Georgia. And it's a landlocked country, so you can't help them. Georgia, on the other hand, has access to the Black Sea, and if you want to go, can help them, but the Russians will cut that off probably in the Black Sea. So I predict that Georgia needs a regime change, which I'm waiting. And then when that happens, Armenia will join in, and together with the help of NATO, Russia will have a second front. And Russia will fight that probably with the Turks together with the Azerbaijani. That's what's going to happen. The problem is here, the way these guys framed this article is they think that they already controlled the past by controlling the present. But there are idiots like me who know more than that and have a memory. I have 2 things to tell you. I was trying to find, and Russia tries to drag them in the Ukraine war, not NATO. Russia tries, because Russia needs another front open. Because Russia is with an alliance, about 40 countries trying to destroy NATO. Not NATO with about 40 countries trying to destroy Russia in Ukraine. Okay, that's how it goes. Contrary, to whatever. I will tell you this. I watched right after that happened in 2008, probably right then. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that in Beijing. It was in Beijing, the Olympics. And Putin attended the opening ceremony. That's when Saakashvili started his thing in South Ossetia. And the mass media in the West shut the hell up for about 24 hours. The world did not know that started. Putin was informed, and they said, okay, them up, which they did. And then Russia was blamed with the invasion. And I remember 2 videos that I watched with Putin at that time, and he explained to an American it was, or French. It was a foreign interviewer. And he explained, these guys, talking about the Georgian, attacked our troops, invaded, because the interviewer was a weasel and asked, Russia responded disproportionately to Georgian, whatever it was framed. And Putin, I remember when he said, so Georgia, Saakashvili invaded with tanks, with infantry, with rockets, with airplanes, with helicopters, with the army. And he said, how are we supposed to respond with, this was his words, with slingshots? That's how we were supposed? No, he said. We smacked them, I didn't say smack, we gave them a bloody nose. That's what he said. That's how we responded. That's the proportionality, how we were supposed to respond. I remember I tried a few times already to find that video with Putin's interview on YouTube, and I know I watched it a few times. I can't remember that. I can't find it, I'm sorry. I can't find it. All the keywords that I used to use, there's not there. Not there in any way. They gave me Saakashvili's interviews, but not Putin's interviews from there. No, they didn't give me. So, and if I put the keywords, they give me something about right now Ukraine. It's such a garbage. So I can't find it. One time, when I'm going to have some time, more time to look into it, I will dig deeper. And I will have to find that interview. So that was one. And the other one was how Putin explained how the media in the West kept quiet about it for about 24 hours. He said, I would like to congratulate you, the Western media, how you followed orders for about 24 hours. Nobody said anything about the invasion. Nothing. He said, I would like to congratulate you. So he has so much, he used the term, I can't remember, so much, they followed orders and so on. So here is that's the way these guys are creating now the future, by telling us that Russia in the future would want to attack as they attacked over there. That's not true. Or if it's not true, at least it's not the way these guys portray it. There's a spin. The problem is you have to remember things. It's like, for instance, you go in your office and someone wants to create problems for you. And he's going to say something about something that happened in a conversation or something. And if you don't remember what was the chronology of the events and who said whom, what, so you are able to paraphrase at least what happened and who said what. If you don't remember, that guy can lie whatever he or she wants. And you're going to be caught because you will have no response. What are you going to say? You know it's not true, but you can't remember what the hell happened. That's why you have to remember, like right now, whenever I saw this title, another country Russia invaded is worried a new naval base is going to drag it into the Ukraine war. For me, that was clear. These guys are preparing, the terrain for when Georgia is going to have a coup d'etat. It will have a coup d'etat. Then Armenia is going to go in. Russia is going to fuck them up with Azerbaijan. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. And then these guys are going to cry again, as Saakashvili cried in 2008, hoping that he's going to have the today's Ukraine. And he didn't have that today's Ukraine because NATO was afraid to intervene. Why? Look at the map and see where Ukraine is. All its eastern and southern part is Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, all that, they can be helped. Georgia, who did they have? Nobody, just the Black Sea. A blockade by the Russians in the Black Sea, and bye-bye. That's it. NATO could not help them. That's why nothing happened there. That's why NATO calculated, said, too fast, Russia, now should we do it? That's what it was. And now they tell us that Russians are going to be the ones who want to drag Georgia. Why would they want to drag Georgia? That means the second front. Why would they want to do that? So again, it doesn't make sense, but these guys work like this. Because Russia is bad and stupid. This is their argument. Wherever they don't have an argument, they say because Russia is stupid or Putin is stupid. Putin is the madman. No, he's not. If he were a madman, I would have seen probably in the first month of the war, one nuclear bomb dropped, or about 50. And I didn't see any in 2 years. And he lost how many? 360,000 people? And he's still not a madman yet. He should have ended, he could have ended this in the first day if he wanted. One nuclear weapon and say, I'm ready. Anybody fucking moves, you're done. That's how a madman acts. But he didn't do that. And those guys escalated. Remember, from condoms, into dildos, inflatable whatever, dolls, and then they got to bullets, then they got to rifles, then they got to javelinas, then they got to howitzers, then they got to armored vehicles, then they got to tanks, then they got to airplanes, then they got to everything, missiles, short range, middle range, long range, intelligence, satellite, trainers, outside, inside, mercenaries, with everything. And the madman was afraid. I don't think the madmen are afraid in general, are they? Because they don't understand what's, when you're mad, you don't know what the consequences are. You don't know what's good, what's bad. You just act, you just snap. He didn't snap. How is it possible, this dictator? Again, these things are just, they're going to give us the same thing. I don't know, he's just like that. Don't try to make sense. He's so crazy. They kept saying the same thing about another guy. Well, he was a genius in that, but in an evil genius. And we don't know why he did it, because he was crazy. And if you look at certain orders and reactions and actions, you say, no, this is a very calculated person. What are you talking about? Remember, Germany in the Second World War could have dropped anthrax and others on Western cities. He didn't do that. I know someone who was ready to do that. Do you know who that is? All right. Well, if you know, great. So, and he was not from that side. So a madman, if you lose a war, you do everything you have. And he didn't. Another madman. And again, these are all madmen. Saddam Hussein was a madman again. Gaddafi was a madman. Whomever we don't like and doesn't follow orders is a madman. That means whatever arguments we bring, don't expect them to make sense, because that guy is a madman. My friends, use your brain, read, but the problem is these guys are cleaning the past. And with this society that don't even know what happened yesterday, it's easy. It's easy. I'm guaranteeing you that 99% of people, they'll look over this, they're going to say, oh my God, yeah, Russia. Yeah, they invaded another country. And they'd go down. For me, when I saw that, I said, probably it's about Georgia. And when I go down, I scroll down, it was Georgia, And I knew that they want to build a naval base in the area. So for me, I knew immediately. But people will say, what is country? Oh, let me see. Oh, Georgia, what happened there? Yeah, man. And then I'm going to make sure that the reader is going to leave with the impression, yes, the Russians invaded before. Oh, this is the second time. And they want the third time to do it to Georgia. Man, that's a pattern. Don't you think they should be stopped? Yes. Let's give them about $62 billion more for now. All right. Well, that's the way it is, my friends. And just to pay attention. Okay, who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.